Shalom, Grec du Nouveau Testament, New Testament Greek, Lesson 4. In this lesson, we continue reading the text from Matthew chapter 1 to recognize different word types. Verse 9, 오지아스 대 에게니센 돈 요아삼 이요아. You may pronounce 요아삼. 요아삼 대 에게니센 돈 아하즈 대 에게니센 돈 에zekian. We start with the non-inflectional words. Here the, it means, here again the means, and sometimes but, therefore, that it can have different meanings. You have to see the context. In this case, and is the best option. Ozias, the why it appears in the second position, that's what it wants, okay? That's the way it wants, okay? It's up to the language. You have to allow it. You don't have to, you cannot force it to be in the first place or where you want to know. Ozias, that's the habit of the conjunction in Greek, okay? Ozias is a name, is a proper noun, so it belongs to the noun group. Ozias, the egenisen, is a verb in past tense. Egenisen, ton yoatham. Ton is an article. It belongs to the noun group. Yoatham, another man's name. Ton, we can have the following word. We can know that it's a man and a singular. Ozias, the egenisen, ton yoatham. And Ozias gave birth to Joatham. That's the meaning. Joatham de egenisen ton Ahaz. Ahaz de egenisen ton Ezekian. I don't have to translate this, you know, right? Again, Ozias de egenisen ton Joatham. Joatham de egenisen ton Ahaz. Ahaz de egenisen ton Ezekian. Verse 10, Ezekias, do you see the different ending here? Ezekias, Ezekian. You don't have to try to understand the system of the declension of these proper nouns. They are really liberal. I mean, there's no system. You cannot follow them. Simply you follow as it is written, because you are not supposed to correct the book or write down New Testament again. It's not your job. We simply have to try to understand, okay? So, Ezekian here, why? You don't have to know that. Ezekias, a different form. It's not important. You're just simply following the context. You can figure out the meaning. Ezekias, the egenisen ton Manasi. Here is another. Manasis, different form. Okay. And Ezekias, he gave birth to Manasseh. Again, Ezekias, the egenisen ton Manasi. Manasis, the egenisen ton Amos. And Manasseh, this man, gave birth to Amos. Amos, the egenisen ton Josian. Here, Josian, and the next verse, Josias. One more time, 10. Ezekias, the egenisen ton Manasseh. Manassis, the egenisen ton Amos. Amos, the egenisen ton Josian. Verse 11, Josias, the egenisen ton Jechonian, up to here. And Josias gave birth to Jechonian. Now, the more you just pay attention to different groups, types of the word, for example, Josias, noun, the noun group, the non-inflectional group, egenisen is a verb, ton is an article, the noun group, Jechonian is proper noun, it belongs to the noun group. The more you pay attention to this, you realize actually it becomes easier for you to understand. Que tus adelphus aftu. Que is non-inflectional, we saw it. Just whenever you meet such words, you have to memorize one by one. There are not so many. Que means A and B, and A and D. It's a conjunction. It's kind of conjunction, but simply word and word, A and B. Que tus adelphus aftu. Do you remember tus is an article? It's in plural form. It's in accusative, I mean the case form. Also is masculine. Tus adelphus. Do you see the same ending? We have seen this word adelphus, like the ending of tus. So that's why I said you don't have to try to memorize all the declension patterns of noun or adjective. adelphus. Adelphus means brother. Here, τους adelphus, the brothers. And the function here is direct objective. How about after? Do you remember the same ending here? To, like to of the article after is a pronoun. He, sometimes she, depends. If it's feminine, you may translate it she or her. In this case, it is either masculine or neuter, the same form. They share the same form. So in this case, we just follow the masculine, his brothers. His brothers. Who is he? The name here, okay, Yehonian. Josias and Josias gave birth to Yehonia and his brothers. Who is he? Again, Yehonia, the brothers Jehoniah. Again, Josias de genisendon Yehonian께 τους αδελφούς αυτού. All this, okay, article and noun, also pronoun, they belong to the noun group. Now, epitis metikesias Vavilonos. First time we see epi is a preposition. It's like ek. We have seen ek already. Not here. I cannot see here. Ek. Epi means sometimes its basic meaning is on, upon. But it depends. As I said, preposition words, they usually have various meanings. Simply, you have to follow the context. You have to pay attention to the context. Then you can find out the correct meaning of each preposition. Epi doesn't change. It's non-inflectional. One more preposition. Epitis. In this case, it goes with the second case. Actually, this preposition sometimes with fourth case. So do not try to memorize. This one goes with only two. Case 2. No, it's not true. Epitis metikesias Vavilonos. I think you understand. Vavilonos simply means Babylon. And what's the case? It's not important because the proper nouns, they have funny endings here, beyond the expectations. So forget about that. Okay, Vavilonos. Metikesias. First time we see this noun is a noun. So it belongs to the noun group. Metikesias. Do not try to research to make any research for this ending. Okay, simply you follow the article which is before it. With this article, we know the following noun is related with this. This should be feminine form and singular in the second case. So, as the article is, we have to say metikesias, this noun, is a feminine form, is in singular, and is in the second case. The ending as a little bit similar to this is, right? Simply the vowel is different. Instead of is, it has as. Metikesias. Literally means meta, just change, move. Ikios, equals house, changing the house. But actually, there's special meaning in Jewish history. It means exile. They exiled to Babylon. So, metikesias Vavilonos, the Babylonian exile. That's the meaning. Epitis metikesias Vavilonos. With this preposition, how do you understand? On the time of, you may understand this way, during the time of the Babylonian exile. That's the meaning of this preposition. Now, we have the noun group, Josias, ton article, Yehonian, τους article, adelphus noun, after pronoun, and this again article, and metikesia, just general noun, just normal noun, Babylonos proper noun. All these belong to the noun group. And we have here non-inflectional word, the conjunction. We have another non-inflectional word. It is a preposition, the epi. We have also agonisen. We have here verb. And what there's? Okay, all this we can find here in this verse. Josias de genisen ton Yehonian que tus. Okay, here is another non-inflectional word. Okay, Josias de genisen ton Yehonian que tus adelphus aftu epitis metikesias Babylonos. Verse 12. Meta de tin metikesian Babylonos Yehonias egenisen ton Salathiel de egenisen ton Zorobabel. Okay, meta, here is another word, which is a non-inflectional word group. Meta is a preposition like epi. Here you have meta din, there is inserted between them. There's conjunction, another non-inflectional word. We translate use with this one. We start with this one. There, and, but, and. In this case, and. Meta is a preposition. It doesn't change, even though sometimes we can find slightly different forms, but it depends on the following word, okay? So it's not important. I just rather count it as unchanging word. Meta is a preposition, which case, in this case, the fourth case, case 4. Sometimes it can have different case, but we just stay here, the fourth case, case 4. Meta tin metikesian. We understand, I know this, meta and the accusative, case 4, after, it has the meaning of after. Meta tin metikesian Babylonos, as we said, metikesian. Do you see the different ending? It follows the article tin, even though the vowel is different, an instead of in, very close to tin, the ending of the article. That's why I said several times, you don't have to try to memorize all the declension patterns. Simply you stay in the article. That's the basis for every declension. Okay? Meta de tin metikesian Babylonos, and after the Babylonian exile, that's the meaning. Meta de tin metikesian Babylonos, Jechonias Egenisen, and this man Jechonias Egenisen, he gave birth to Ton Salatiel, this man Salatiel de Egenisen, Ton Zerubbabel, and this man Salatiel gave birth to Zerubbabel. Again, Meta de tin metikesian Babylonos, Jechonias Egenisen ton Salatiel de Egenisen ton Zerubbabel. And this verse again, non-inflectional. You have de, but also meta, new preposition. You have also Egenisen, verb, Egenisen. You have also other proper noun. Also you have, the articles. Articles are so common everywhere. So far we noticed the article can appear in many cases, not like in French, not like in English. They are more common actually in the Greek text. And also we noticed several endings for nouns, okay? So at this moment, we need to just figure out what kind of endings they show in the Greek text. Actually, as I said several times, the endings of the noun declension, they are very similar to the endings of the article. Okay? Do you remember the article? You have to memorize o, I, to. Do you remember? Tu, tis, tu, to, ti, to, ton, tin, to. Do you remember this? I, eta, ton, 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 tis, tes, tis, tu, sta, sta. Okay, you have one more case in this declension, vocative. When you call someone, you just ask someone to come. Peter, come in here. Peter becomes the fifth case. We call this vocative. Where the vocative, in nouns you can just express, but it's not so important. Usually it is almost the same with the first case. So if you don't want to memorize them, it's okay. Actually, you don't have to memorize this declension pattern of the noun endings, okay? Let me explain why, okay? Let's go to the plural first. Do you remember I, eta? That was the declension of the article. I, eta. Simply they are the same. But here, you don't have T. The first the. You don't see any T here. So endings, you have to just take it out. The T from the articles, you have to take T out. The result is, instead of I, eta, you have I, ea. These are the endings of plural, first case for the nouns. Just most nouns, not most, many of the nouns, they have such endings in the plural form for the first case. I, eta, not ta, I, ea. How about the second case in plural? Do you remember ton, 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 the article? Okay, you take out T and you have on. So you don't have to memorize this declension. How about the third case, case 3? this, there's the declension of the article. You just take out T, remove it, and you have is, as, is again. So they follow almost the same endings like those of the article. How about do, sta, sta? These are the articles for case 4, plural form. But you take out T, us, as, are. So they actually, basically, they are the same. They share the same endings. So that's why I say you don't have to memorize this declension of the noun endings. Now, the case 5, do you see EAR here? EAR, just the same thing. So you don't have to memorize it. How about the singular form? Okay, we start from this one, the second case, masculine, feminine, neuter. We have for article do, this, do. Do you remember? Do, this, do. And also case 3, do, di, do. Do, di, do. Do you remember case 4, don, din, do? In these 3 cases, okay, you simply remove T, the first one. Then you have u, is, u, o, i, o, on, in, o. Okay, these are the endings of noun. Many nouns end like this. But sometimes some nouns have, in the feminine form, instead of is, you have the ending as. Instead of e, you have ending a. Simply you change the vowel, that's all. Instead of in, you have an. In neuter, usually you have o, but sometimes you have on. On. The ending is a little bit different. Otherwise, they are identical with the endings of the articles. So that's why I say you don't have to memorize this declension of noun endings. Just go to the first case. O, I, do. Do you remember o, I, do? So you have the same ending in feminine. You have the same ending in neuter, o, I, do. But sometimes, as I said, in feminine, for the cases 2, 3, 4, there's different vowels. Sometimes instead of e, there is a also. So you can see also in nominative, first case, sometimes you have the ending a instead of e, or as understandable. How about neuter? Sometimes you have o and sometimes on, as in the case of accusative, case 4. Actually, in neuter, the first case and the last case, even in plural and singular, they share the same form. They don't change. Okay, they share the same form. How about the masculine nominative, case 1, singular? Okay, actually, an article without T from the beginning, o, I, do. So there's nothing you have to remove because it doesn't have T actually. But the result, when you remove the T, o, I, do, do you see? The result is o. Here is the same result o. So there's no difference between the neuter form and the masculine form. What do you do? Then you simply add s, os. Then you can make them different. So you have, for the ending of the masculine, first case, singular form, you have os instead of o. That's the unique thing here. Os, e, or a, on, or o. This is the ending. These are the endings of the declension of noun endings. As I said, you don't have to memorize all these declension patterns. Simply you just memorize the article declension pattern. That's the most important thing. Simply you have to figure out, you have to know exactly, you have to just basically they are identical, almost identical with the endings of the articles, even though there are slight changes, differences. As I said in the beginning, learning method is quite important. You don't have to bring so much burden upon yourself. Using the grammar books, usually it becomes a burden, I don't want to follow the grammar books. I just make it very simple. So that's why I just asked you to memorize the pattern of the declension of the article. But at the same time, I say you don't have to memorize the declension patterns of the noun endings. Now, let's continue from the scriptures. Matthew chapter 1, we didn't finish it yet. Verse 13. Zorobabel δε εγέννησεν τον Αβιούδ. Αβιούδ δε εγέννησεν τον Eliakim. Eliakim δε εγέννησεν τον Azor. Do you see? Zorobabel, Αβιούδ, Eliakim. These are names. Also, Αβιούδ, Eliakim, Azor. Names. The noun group. How about 돈, the same article. With this 돈, we know the following noun is masculine, also singular, and direct objective. Do you see this non-inflectional word group? De is conjunction. Agonisen is a verb, so we understand this. Again, Zorobabel, the agonisen ton aviud, aviud the agonisen ton Eliakim, Eliakim the agonisen ton Azor. 14. Azor the agonisen ton Sadok, Sadok the agonisen ton Achim, Achim the agonisen ton Eliud. I think it's too easy, okay? Azor the agonisen ton Sadok, Sadok the agonisen ton Achim, Achim the agonisen ton Eliud. The next verse, 15. Eliud the agonisen ton Eleazar, Eleazar the agonisen ton Matan, Matan, T and th together, Matan. Matan the agonisen ton Jacob. Again, Eliud the agonisen ton Eleazar, Eleazar the agonisen ton Matan, Matan the agonisen ton Jacob. Now, verse 16 from Matthew chapter 1. Jacob the agonisen ton Yosef. We understand up to here. And Jacob gave birth to Joseph. Yosef, Yosef. Ton andra. Okay, one more time the article, and after that another noun. So the noun is in agreement with the previous noun, proper noun Yosef. Who is this? What is this? Andra. Andra means husband. Sometimes man, but in this case husband. Whose husband is he? Maria's. We know this famous Maria's. She is the mother of Jesus. Maria's and Don Andra. So we have to interpret like this. Husband of Maria's, Mary. Who is the husband of Mary? Joseph. Joseph is the husband of Mary. So here we have, and Jacob gave birth to Joseph, the husband of Mary, or Mary's husband. Don Andra. Andra, it changes in different forms. Simply, so you don't have to study right now, okay, all the different forms. Jacob the agonisen don Yosef don Andra Marias. But you have to decide the function or the declension of this word according to this article don. It should be a masculine and it should be a singular, and also is case 4. Don Andra Marias. X is agenithi Isus or legomenos Christos. Oh, you have some words you have never seen. X, you have never seen this one. But as I said, sometimes preposition, they have slightly different forms. In this case, it's the same as ek, out of, from, through, by. Do you remember? Ek, Ruth, through Ruth. That was the meaning. It is a preposition. We don't consider it just changing, having different forms. The reason here you have x instead of g, ek, because of the following vowel, okay? It can influence this. You don't have to study. You will know that naturally, okay? Here is H sound, even though we don't pronounce. Here is accent. Accent doesn't influence the previous preposition, but this H sound and the vowel influences on this ending. That's why it changed X. You don't have to study, okay? Simply accept it and you consider it as unchanging. Non-inflectional. X is a preposition, so it's non-inflectional word. X, like ek. Is. What is is? Do you see a similarity? The ending this of the ending of the article this. Yes, that's true. But you have H sound, you have an accent. In this case, this is a relative pronoun. How about the relative pronoun? It is also goes by declension. There are so many forms. You can expect perhaps 24 forms like the article. That's true. The good news is the declension of relative pronoun, you don't have to memorize, either. It is almost identical with the declension of the article again. That's why I say the declension of the article is so important. X is, you can just, refer to this, is feminine form, is singular, and also the second case. And also ek goes with the second case in many times. So you can put whom or that, which, where in this case is feminine form. We can expect woman. Okay, so you can say through whom. That's my translation. Through whom. That is the best way. Who is this lady? Should be a lady. Maria's. The relative pronoun here doesn't go with Andra, husband, or Joseph. It's a man. It's masculine. It's not feminine. So it cannot be just mention this Joseph or Andra. Okay, it should go with Maria's. X is through whom. In English, whom, you have no idea. It is Maria or it is Joseph. You have no idea because it doesn't say any gender. It doesn't say anything. Okay, about gender. But in Greek, it clearly indicates the gender. It is feminine gender. X is through whom. With whom? Marias, only Marias. Agenithi, you have never seen this. Agenisen, you have seen that many times. He gave birth. He just bore. He bore. That was the verb. In this case, agenithi, I know this T by the ending. I know this is a passive, in passive form. Agenithi, someone was born. Agenithi. Jesus, okay, here is the subject. Jesus was born through whom? Through Maria's. Jesus was born. That's the meaning. It's not easy, but you can follow me, right? X is agenithi, Jesus, a verb here, Jesus, Jesus, or legomenos Christos, or is an article. Is, okay, first time perhaps we meet, this is masculine form and singular in the first case. So it tries to explain who Jesus is, okay, or the following phrase, and before that the article or, you just express who Jesus is. Legomenos Christos, we just go to Christos first. We have in English Christ. In Greek is Christos. It comes from the Messiah, Mashiach in Hebrew. Someone who is anointed, that is anointed. The anointed one. That's the meaning of the Christos. But now we take in English and many languages as a proper noun, even though it was not a proper noun. Simply the anointed one, Christos. Legomenos. What is legomenos? This is participle. First time we meet participle. I have to explain later, not now, okay? Legomenos. The basic form is lego, is a verb. As I said, participle was born in the verb. Actually, it was a verb, but it moved out, it emigrated into the noun group. So the change of form is goes by different forms, go by declension, not conjugation, because it already moved into the noun group. So it changes, it has different forms by the declension. Legomenos, but it has still retaining several features of the verb, that is participle. That's why I put it in the fourth group of the different verbs, different words. Legomenos. Well, even though I'll explain later, menos, I see a kind of passive, okay, in participle. Being called, being said. That's the meaning of this word. Or legomenos Christos. Jesus, who is called, who is said, Christ. That's the meaning of this phrase. Jesus or legomenos Christos. Jesus was born through whom? Through Marias. Okay? I think you can follow me, right? 야곱 대견이센 돈 요셉 돈 안드라 마리아스 X is 에게니티 이sus 올레고메노스 Christos. One more verse, 17. I won't explain too much in this verse. Pase un egene apo Avram eos David. Here you have un again, non-inflectional, and apo non-inflectional. Eos non-inflectional. Again, ke, apo, all these non-inflectional words. Again, apo, eos, ke, apo, eos, all these are non-inflectional. So you have to simply memorize them. That's it. There's no better way, okay? Pase, it belongs to the noun group. You may call it adjective, okay? It doesn't matter, whatever you call, okay? Pase means all. If it's in plural, you may translate all. If it's in singular, you can consider every, each. Conjunction, as I said, conjunction, many conjunctions, they don't like to appear in the first place of any sentence. That's why they put here in the second position. Well, but we have to interpret first un. It doesn't change. Non-inflectional. It means therefore, un. Simply just memorize. Un means therefore. It doesn't change. Therefore, 빠세에게네 all the generations. That's the meaning. Three of them, 빠세에게네, they belong to the noun group. As we learned, it is an article. First time, is in plural, feminine, the first case. 게네, again, is in a little bit similar, right? It is a generation. But the ending, noun ending, as I said, they're almost identical with the endings of the articles. So, 게네, they share the same article, same ending. The generations, that's the meaning. The generations, plural, but in feminine form. How about 빠세? Do you see the same ending here? 빠세 means all the generations. Therefore, all the generations. We later learn the declension of this important 빠세, the declension of this word. 빠세운 에게네 아포 Avram. Here is another non-inflection. Is non-inflectional word. It is a preposition from. It means from. Apo Avram, from Abram. Eos David. In this case, you cannot see the case. It doesn't matter. Simply you have to know apo from, eos till, from A till B. From Avram till David. Apo Avram, eos David. Gene, again, generations. Deka, tesares. Do you know decade means 10 years? Deka, 10. Tesares, 4. 14 generations is a numeral, belongs to the noun group. Και από Δαβίδ έως τις μετικεσίας Βαβυλώνος γενεέ 14. And non-inflectional. Από non-inflectional is a preposition from David. Έως till, until. It doesn't change. Non-inflectional. These are we found here. Eos, this preposition sometimes goes with the second case. This. Μετικεσίας Βαβυλώνος. Do you remember? Babylonian exile. Until up to the Babylonian exile. Metikesias Babylonos gene deca tesares. 14 generations. Και από τις Metikesias Babylonos, and it doesn't change, από from preposition, the Babylonian exile, eos tu Christu. Again, eos goes with the second case. Do you see? Until the Christ, eos tu Christu. Gene deca tesares. Diphthong, you have to remember this, okay? 14 generations. I think you can figure out, right? You simply repeat watching this video, that's all. Paseun e gene apo Avram, eos David, gene deca tesares. Και από Δαβίδ έως τις Μετικεσίας Βαβυλώνος γενεέ 14 και από τις Μετικεσίας Βαβυλώνος έως του Χριστού γενεέ 14. Now we saw one case of relative pronoun. Relative pronoun, it goes by declension because it belongs to also, pronoun belongs to the noun group. Do you have to remember? I said, no, you don't have to. It's good news, right? I ask you to remember, memorize the declension of the article. That's all so far. Do you remember the article, the declension of the article? O, I, to, tu, tis, tu, ti, to, ton, tin, to, like this. Do you remember the endings of the noun endings, the declension of the noun endings? I said almost identical with the endings of the articles, even though there are sometimes different vowel in the feminine. Instead of e, there is also sometimes a, and slightly different changes like the first case, masculine singular os. But you have to remove all the t and the endings, noun endings. Likewise, and the declension of the relative pronoun, you just take out all the t from the articles. O, ito. Instead of o, ito, you have to have o, I, o. And then you have to add, okay, do you see the mark here? It's for H sound, even though we don't pronounce it. Still, you have to put it. And also accent, or as different types of accent. Here is different type of accent. The names of the accent are not important. Simply, you have to remember there are accent, there is accent. for relative pronoun. Also, there's a H sound mark. Okay, that's all. And also, as I said, as we saw in the noun endings, you have to add s to make it different from the neuter os, eo, but you don't have r ending. Simply like the article os, eo, u is u, o, eo, on, in, o, e, a, r, on, is, as, is, us, as, are. Very simple. So I say you don't have to memorize the declension of relative pronoun. Simply remember and memorize the declension of the article. And remember, relative pronoun usually certainly have, okay, the H sound mark, also the accent. Here you can see two types, this one. Sometimes you will see this one, different direction, where you don't have to know the names of these accents. Do you see? I do my best to reduce the burden in learning the Greek. But the most important thing so far is the declension of the article. So let's review again. 오이또, 뚜띠스투, 또띠또, 똔틴또, 이에따, 똔똔똔, 띠스, 떼스, 띠스, 뚜스따스따.